It's that time. It's that time. I can't believe it already. It's that time. It's that time. You know what time it is.
What time is it?
What time is it? It's cocktail time. It's cocktail time with the D. Welcome back, you guys. Cocktail time with the D. You made it. I tell you, Friday nights are made for vinyl. I tell you that every week because it's true. But this week is special. I promised you guys a guest appearance this week, and lo and behold, The Rock is here. Steve Rock, everybody.
Hello,
yes,
hello.
Yes, Steve Rock, a friend of mine who I met, God, it's been probably
Many years
6
ago.
years ago, 6 or 7 years ago,
That's right.
in that faraway land of China.
That's right.
Where we both lived for a number of years, almost a decade.
Yep.
Yan, my wife, and I moved back to this area about 3 years ago, but Steve moved back like...
We moved back just about 6-8 months ago.
Yeah, so he's new back to the U.S. Back in the USSA.
Woohoo!
No, it's USSA.
Yeah, it's
But,
USSA.
okay, so we're going to work together tonight. This is my first guest appearance. I wanted to have Steve here because Steve was critical in two very important moments in my life.
True.
You ask yourself, what were
What
those
are
two
those
critical moments? Well, the
You've
first
got
one
pictures.
was Steve and I woke up 6:30 a.m. one long day ago and walked to the local dispensary of alcohol, and they opened it up for a special with a couple of our buddies, and we watched the Cleveland Cavaliers win an NBA championship. Wah, wah.
There it
There
is.
we are.
There it
That's us in Suzhou celebrating the victory of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cleveland basketball. But we sat there all day. Remember, we ordered steaks for lunch, and then we asked the guy to replay the game. So they basically found another feed, replayed the game. We rewatched the entire game as if it were the first time.
And celebrated as if it was
That's
the
right.
first
And
time
both,
all
and
over again.
is it embarrassing for me to say that we both cried like schoolgirls when they won? We did,
It's
though.
not
We did.
because we did. My dad has a voicemail on his phone
Of you crying.
of me just bawling on the phone, and he's never deleted it. And he plays it to me.
That's awesome. That is
Great.
awesome. That is awesome. We
great.
did. We cried. I cried tears of joy
It was.
for those Cleveland Cavaliers. That was a great day in Cleveland sports history. But the second reason is because Steve was present for a much more significant event in my life, and that is the first time that I wore lederhosen. So that was a very big day for me. Leather, full on, from Germany, lederhosen. So Steve was there for that, so I thought that's a good reason to have you on the show.
You know what? Any day you wear lederhosen
Yeah.
is a day to celebrate.
That's right.
So
That's right. That's right.
Absolutely.
So welcome, Steve. So Steve kind of came. He came a little early. Wanted to do his homework. Steve, that's the way this dude is. This cat said, "Fill me in on what's going on with Cocktail Time with the D. What do I need to know? What are the basics? How do I enjoy this experience with you? Like, why do you do this?" He said. And so I said, "Well, it's my job, Steve. It's my job. It's my sole responsibility to find the buttery hot nuggets that exist in time and space for my constituency.
the slippery tracks.
The slippery tracks that have slipped out of your mind, but I'm about to bring them back into focus for you.
Ooh.
Serve up those platters so
Exactly.
you can... So Steve was kind enough to show up early and roll through these tracks with me because he didn't want to be... You know what? I'm going to be honest. I think the reason is you didn't want to be caught off guard
True.
by a plate full of butter and just get blown away by it. Too much emotion.
Couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it.
Couldn't do
Didn't want to be caught up in the emotion in front of you guys. Didn't want to get all emotional when he heard a track potentially for the first time. Steve is a young man. Steve is a young man. He looks much younger than me, but he's not that much younger than me.
True
The difference
story.
between you and I is the exact same difference in age between my wife and I.
There you go.
Did you know that?
You told me.
And,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of similarities. We both married and fell in love with Chinese women in China. So Steve's wife is actually here tonight in the studio with us.
Right, we got a packed studio.
We've got a packed studio tonight.
Crazy, folks. Crazy.
Normally it's just me getting drunk, smoking cigars in the garage by myself. But now I got friends. See, I told you guys I had friends.
Now he can get drunk, smoke cigars, and be with other
It's,
people.
it's a lot more socially acceptable when there's somebody else here. Now I've realized this. This is going to go off because now I don't feel like I'm just some dirty old bastard sitting in the garage
You
getting
guys
drunk
next
by
week.
himself. That's why I started the show. I was like, I can tell you, I've got the show to do, honey. I have to go out there. So anyway, all right. Without further ado, you guys are like, get to the music. We are going to do that. We are at your
Sure as
pleasure.
feel like it.
Yeah, we work at their leisure, Steve. I know I didn't tell you that when you started this job.
Did not.
We work at the leisure of the people, and the people have said, "Throw on a platter, D. Shut up." And so here we go. First track. This falls into the category, every week we try to have one of the old man's tracks on here. So this is one of my dad's original albums. Somewhere on it, he signed it, as he did with all of his albums. I think he thought as children we were going to sell his albums. Like, go out and try to sell them. Somebody's going to, you guys are Lauren's son, aren't you, you dirty little bad? That's your dad's album.
Yeah.
Take that back home. So I do think that's why he did it. But this is off of one of my dad's favorites. I heard this all the time when I was young, but I bet you there's a lot of you who haven't heard this track, and that's why I unearthed it for you. And that's why you're about to be served up a hot platter. Pop!
There you go.
Wait until this kicks in the beginning. You heard this earlier. The second time around is going to be better.
Second time's way better.
To start the show, dude.
Good Lord.
Shakedown Cruise,
Good
Jay
Lord.
Ferguson. He just blew through us like a bowl of fiber through your colon. Just
Good Lord.
blew through
What an analogy. Holy
blew
cow.
through us. That's awesome. Jay Ferguson, guys, pick it up. It's a hot album. 1979 release. That is a great album, man. I know there's a lot of you out there probably heard that for the first time. So, as I always say to the audience, you're welcome. The next track, man, if I look to try to define the 70s, there are a few bands come to mind.
Yep.
And this is definitely one of them. And I just realized, boom, boop, right there. So I thought it was on the other side, but what's great about this album is I get to do this twice tonight, and this wasn't by accident. I'm not pandering, okay? This was actually one of the Old Man's. Second album of the night was the Old Man's, and the reason I know that is because look at him. He puts his name at the bottom. I love it. This one,
He signed it so you can say
yeah,
it.
he signed it. He signed signature,
There you go.
signatory, his signatory. But this band, it really, I own every America album. I obviously inherited some from my dad, but I went out and bought a bunch of others. America, there's not a bad America album. These guys are the consummate smooth 70s band. Even though tonight's not smooth 70s, tonight is just standard 70s. I want to be very clear about that. We've done the smooth 70s show. Tonight's just about the 70s. But these guys, man, they are the 70s, right? America, come on. But you're thinking, well, gee, we know America. Why are you going to play America for us? We've heard all the America butter. We've eaten that plate. That's the Swenson's of our dietary supplement.
For those who do not know, a galley boy.
This is the galley.
This is the galley boy.
This album would be like the galley boy of the 70s, but you ever try the egg salad sandwich at Swenson's?
Never.
It's amazing. It's on just fluffy white bread. It's the perfect mix of mayo and mustard. It's amazing. And people always say, D, why did Swenson's order an egg salad sandwich? That's what I'm about to teach you about this album. This is the egg salad track of this album.
Do you need to explain how good Swenson's is?
I think. There's all of our foreign constituency here that doesn't know Swenson's is the best.
For those out on the West Coast,
that's true.
Swenson's compared to In-N-Out Burger. Come on, guys. Come on over to Northeast Ohio.
We should have a tasting show.
And have a tasting show.
We're going to do next
time.
We'll
do a Galley Boy and an In-N-Out Burger.
Blind.
Yes.
All right, here we go.
There we go.
Second track of the night.
Roll it.
Can you see better days? Will you find different ways? And does he really mean that much to your heart?
Well, this little song called the Anti-Guy.
All of the ways you can find another man and lead him directly there to the source. You've got to chart his course, 'cause it is only in your heart this thing that makes you want to start it all again. Wake up from the lucid dream. You've got to change the scene. It's getting so hard to see to the end. Break down all of the walls you can. You need a helping hand. I'm sure there's someone there just for you. Just try to make it too. 'Cause it is only in your heart this thing that makes you want to start it all again. Only in your heart this thing that makes you want to start it all again.
Here it comes.
You can't disregard your friends, but life gets so hard when you reach the end. Maybe you see better days.
Oh, that is a great track, man. It is good to have my brother in arms here with me to belt out these jams. Stevie Rock, the Stevester, the Rock, the myth, the legend. It's amazing.
Too much credit.
Before we dip into this next platter, though, Steve, I didn't tell you this, and I apologize.
You gotta surprise me.
I'm good. Here's a surprise.
Oh boy, I don't like surprises.
There's a segment on this
Oh, boy.
show that I almost was going to cut out of the show. I really was. I said to myself, D, I don't know if the fans are digging the comedy tracks. I don't know if they're digging the funny album covers. And then I get blown up by my boy, Shawnee Connolly. Shout out to you, Shawnee. He's up there in Sault Ste. Marie. I told him I'd give him a shout out tonight. It was his birthday. This is a happy birthday this week, Shawnee.
Yeah.
But
Shawnee, happy birthday.
the Shaughnessy, the legend, the Nanook of the North. He's up there running our proving ground in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, in the snow and cold.
Keep warm, brother.
But he's watching tonight. He said he was going to watch, and so he told me, he goes, dude, don't cut out the comedy tracks. Comedy tracks are one of the best parts. And so I was like, yes. So this one's for you, Sean.
We got some good ones.
We got some good ones tonight.
We tried.
So
We tried
here we
hard.
go. First one is the Cowsills. You say the Cowsills. Who are the Cowsills? Captain Sad and his ship of fools. But guess what? The captain doesn't look very sad. And the only one that looks in on the joke is the mother, because these kids aren't making it off this boat.
No,
look at this
Bunch is not
psychotic.
gonna make it, guys.
Look, you're not going to make it. See ya, Timmy. You know, that's going to go badly for the kids there. The second one, we love this one.
Yeah,
Second one
this
is,
is a good one, guys.
John Phillips, the mamas and the papas, he's basically taking his filthy, sweat-soaked, urine-stained hat off and punched some holes in it. And, just him and the girls, everybody's having a sip. They're just,
Can I stop you right there?
Just
Why is anybody's hat urine soaked?
because they're in a public pool. First off, this is clearly a public pool.
Public pool.
We all know that kids pee in the public pool. Kids in
and adults. I pee in public pools,
the kids
okay?
and Steve
Yeah.
and I, we pee in the public pool. But look at what do they? Why?
Why?
What do you do?
Why?
Mamas and the
Why?
papas, you're very wealthy. But also, I want to give a shout out to just how hot Michelle Phillips is.
Yeah.
Let's
if you take that picture and you just exactly.
So the next one, this is low, what we call low hanging fruit, right?
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
almost
yeah.
too easy. I
This is
apologize
low,
for the
yeah.
cheap shot, but if you're gonna put this on your album
But
cover,
it's easy.
Charlie and the Pet Boys. And look, so Charlie here has got Daddy's girl there, who's, you know, it's blow up sex doll, which makes sense. But he's put her in a large leather jacket. He's got the most disgusting ice cream cone I may have ever seen. Now, I'm assuming this is like some of that Italian ice or something, but it looks awful. It just looks terrible. There's brown stains. Look at his hand.
Terrible.
Look at his hand. What's happening? What's happened? What better way as rockers to say this? You know, how do we want to define a rock career? This album cover. That's awesome, right? All right, a couple more. Quick. All right, this one, this story tells itself. It's Melissa Morgan, and she wants you to do her. She says, "Do me, baby." But my question is why are you on a bunch of rolled out plastic? You know, like this. I think she's gonna get killed. I think this is an episode of what's the guy's name? Dexter. Doesn't this look like an episode of Dexter? Look, why are you? What? I don't get it. Like, what are you preparing for? Who needs that much covering on the floor?
Derek, I might be into some.
Maybe I'm doing it wrong.
Weird
It's a possibility. It's a possibility. Last but not least is Cameo. We all love Cameo, but
See, all the guys.
there's a
here
lot
look
going
good.
on in this
Pick
album.
one.
But I'm just going to point out one singular item. Okay. First, I want you to just soak that in. Okay. Just soak in the fellas. But then look at old boy back here with the onesie on. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that onesie. That is awesome. What better way to tell the ladies that you're ready to go? Cameo. All right. Thank you, Cameo. You win tonight's competition. All right. So next track. We're back to the tracks. We only did 7 tracks tonight
That's correct.
because we wanted to make this a more edible feast of buttery delights for you. And Steve and I plan to do some really serious drinking after this is over.
Probably true.
So we're cutting the show to 7 tracks. All right, so
It's enough
this
butter
one-
for you. It's
But
enough butter.
actually, I lied again, Steve. I lied again. I'm about to break all the rules. I'm about to break down the walls that I've set up for myself. I want out of this prison. All right, so you'll see what's about to happen. This is gonna be amazing. You are gonna love this. All right, these guys have been one of my faves for a long time, but a lot of people only know a couple of tracks of these guys. So you may not know this track. I think some will, but I'm gonna tell you ahead of time. I'm gonna set them up.
Do it.
I'm going for a twofer. A Friday twofer. Boo, boo, boo. Twofer. We're gonna do 2 songs off one album. I've never done that before. And the reason I'm gonna do it is because they're right next to each other, basically, on the player. So I gotta play them together because they're both amazing. And I
Nice.
couldn't decide which one to play.
Breaking rules are fun. Come on.
Breaking-
Breaking rules are fun.
Breaking the law. Wow, we're killing. Oh, so real quick,
Yeah.
tonight we're drinking
No plug.
Remus. For those of you guys who want to know what tonight's sipper is, Remus. George Remus coined the phrase, and we read this on the back, so it's so good. He says, George Remus says, "Man, that's some sure damn good giggle water."
Oh, here,
Yeah,
cheers
here's
to some giggle
here's
water.
cheers to some giggle. I'm way behind. Cheers to some
You're
giggle
talking,
water.
I'm drinking.
Yeah,
That's how it works.
that's true. Just
Yeah.
keep in mind this is 100 proof. 100 proof. So I want
nice
Steve,
stuff.
I want Steve to be here for a while. I don't want him to kick over halfway through the show. But we're drinking Remus and we're smoking Avos. So we're smoking 2 mild Avos,
Nice.
which are nice,
Nice stuff.
good, easy smoke. You know I like my milds. And so here we go. Without further ado, pop. And you're like,
You say you wanna change the world. It's alright with me, I don't regret. It's my turn, the circle will stop me here. And I am the
jam. Bachman Turner Overdrive just blew out a hot jam for you guys on Friday night. It's Cocktail Time with the D, and we're already halfway through, but that is a jam. That's a jam. That's a jam. That's my certified buttery track of the day. Hey, you, BTO, congratulations. You've won the certified Cocktail Time with the D's buttery track. And the reason why I can't show you the butter is because the girls are inside cooking.
Exactly.
That's not true. That's not true.
They're in the studio.
They're in the studio. That was rude. That was rude.
Yeah.
But they wanted to cook because they're both great cooks. So
They are.
don't read into that comment. All right. So next up is on the same album. So I was looking at this. So I have a confession to make. The track you just heard was a 70s track from Best of BTO, but I feel so dirty right now.
Ooh.
I fooled
You
you.
gonna give it to him?
I fooled you. I played it off of Bachman Turner Overdrive Live, which is actually released in the 80s. But the track is from the 70s, so I get a pass. And you know why? Because it's my show.
That's right.
So
keep your comments at bay.
So keep the
people.
comments at bay.
Come
You
on.
purists out there who say that's not a 70s track, that's released in the... But it was originally released in the 70s. But the reason I played it on this album and not on this one, because it's on both, is because of this album, if you just spin down another couple of tracks, you run into this jam, which is gonna melt your face off. And I've said that before, and I know you guys said that did melt my face off. Well, here comes another face melter.
Pull me on my seat.
Here we go. All right. Wait till you heard this once. I actually saved this. And the guy hits the
Yeah, it holds you there.
For days I've tried to forget you. I wonder where you are. I wonder where you are. Guess I must build my castle with daydreams. Or watch them fade away. Watch them fade away. You're like a
You're like a sledgehammer, baby, and you've been hitting on my mind. Woo! That is, by its very definition, a hot track. BTO, who knew? You know, like, I know BTO, like, they got a bunch of tunes that you've heard, like, on the radio. Like, yeah, man, those guys can jam. But I didn't know those guys could
like that.
could
They
kick
can
that
kick
jam out.
No
I didn't
way.
know they had that jam pent up in them. That song is called Sledgehammer off of BTO Live. You need to check it out because it's amazing. That is we might need to jeté back from Coolsville because we were just in the eye of the beholder. You're like a sledgehammer. I was like, oh. The eye opened up. It's like, oh, the ring. All right. So we're gonna mellow it out for you guys. We're gonna take a step back. We're gonna go back into those smooth, the silky sideways 70s down those long trails through the garden. Okay, so here we go. This is another one. I guess this is probably one of my top. I would say this fella. He resides in my top 10 all time. I know that's a bold statement. People are like, D, you ready to make that statement? That's pretty bold. But I would say this guy, he hangs out in my top 10. I've seen him live probably, I don't know, I've seen him live like 6 times. I saw this guy live with my mother. Only concert I ever saw with my mom. Shout out to you, Mom. Hope you're feeling better. I saw this show live with my mom. And so on that note, I'm going to play you the king of Silky Smooth, the man whose voice hasn't changed in 40 years. Bop.
There won't be nothing left behind.
Sorry, I missed the mark. That's embarrassing. This is hard. I've done it before. Now that you're here, I'm more self-conscious of this mark. Why did I do it? I apologize.
Take to the highway, won't you lend me your name? Your way and my way seem to be one and the same. My handsome bastard is standing. She wants to know where I've been. I have to be some kind of natural born fool. I wanna pass that way again, but you know I could feel it on a country road. Sail on home to Jesus, won't you, good girls and boys? I'm all in pieces, you can have your own choice. But I can see a heavenly band full of angels and they're coming to set me free. I don't know nothing about the wild wind, but I can tell you that it's bound to be, because I could feel it, Charlie, on a country road. I guess my feet know where they want me to go. Walking on a country road.
That is a jam.
I tell you what.
Yeah.
That driving on a country road.
Oh yeah, that's
Play that song.
That's the
Holy cow,
That's the
man.
track. That's the track. He basically took an experience and just wove it into a magical melody. Because I've heard that song maybe 1,000 times. Or some of you who might not have heard that. It's not one of his radio plays, but man, Country Road, James Taylor, man. James Taylor's got so many good jams out. If you're out there watching this show and you haven't dipped into the pool of James, as it were, I would get your trunks on and just spend the night swimming around in that cat, right? That cat is...
What an analogy. That's an amazing analogy.
Thanks, brother. But that
I'll
cat...
tell you what, I'm gonna put my trunks on tonight.
Drive
I'm gonna drive home. I'm gonna the country roads home.
the
tonight.
country
In my
home.
swim trunks.
And
in my James Taylor
and
swim
go take a
trunks.
dip.
Yes,
Go take a
I'm gonna dip it the whole way home.
All right. Wait till the weather breaks, but it's a good idea, man.
Yeah.
Swim around in this cat.
Yeah. It's cold here,
Don't
folks.
dirty
It's
it
cold
up.
here,
I know
folks.
there's friends of mine out there that, did you just say swim around and just, you know what I mean.
I hear you, brother.
All right. So we only got 3 left. We're doing okay, man. We're at 28 minutes. Only got 3 left. We're on track. Steve, you keep me motivated, man. Your influence is positive in every way. So I appreciate you being here
I'm
again.
glad- guys,
I want
I'm
to shout
glad
out
we
my
have the
boy, The
show.
Rock, the myth, the legend, Mr. Rock. He is also, Steve was also part of a very exclusive club at one point in his life called the SSBC.
Whoa.
I did. I dropped the
you're
SSBC
gonna
on.
go there.
There's a couple of other SSBC
Woo,
members
SSBC
out there.
folks.
The Sujo, Sunday Sujo Barbecue Club. You guys know who you are. We miss you, and we miss that
We
Sunday
miss you
barbecue.
dearly.
Oh, we do.
We miss you dearly, folks. Let's get it together again.
Yeah, let's get it together. Everybody join us.
Someday,
we should have
someday it will be an international,
an international cocktail time
Guys,
at the D Studio Extravaganza.
For the folks that don't know how difficult it is to bring that all together, you're talking about multi-countries
Converging
together.
here in Akron, Ohio.
Coming to
Listen
Akron, Ohio.
to this platter right here. Third to the last track of the night, and you know who it is, but you don't know who it is, because this is one of those ones you're going to hit, and you're going to be like, I think I know who this is. Now I'm going to show you the guy's name. You're going to be like, I have no idea who that guy is. But this is a jam, and this is a nugget, and I found it just for you, and you're welcome.
Oh, Jimmy sits alone in the moonlight. Saw his woman
Can't help it.
another man. So takes a ladder, steals the stars from the sky. Puts on Sinatra and starts to cry. On and on, he just keeps smiles when he feels like crying. On and on, on and on, on and on. Well, my first time is the last time to make you feel
This guy sounds like Wayne.
but if you know it, show it. Hold on tight, don't never say goodnight. Got the sun on my shoulders and my toes in the sand. Woman's left me frozen by the man. Oh, but I don't care, I'll just dream and spitting. Toss up my heart to see where it lands. On and on, I just keep on trying. And I smile when I feel like dying. On and on, on and on, on and on.
That is a jam. There are going to be people out there who say, Dave, that's not a jam. That's too soft
That's a
and
jam.
too smooth to be one of your hidden nuggets. But that's a nugget, man. Check out Stephen Bishop, dude. On and on. I just love it.
That was a surprise to the agenda.
That was a surprise. Oh, you're looking at my sheet?
No, I'm
I
not
don't have a
looking at your
sheet.
sheet.
This is all.
I never looked at your feet.
Yeah,
That was a
yeah, we did
surprise.
it. We did a flip. I'm sorry.
You know,
I
this
didn't
thing's
throw my
always
sidekick in. Sometimes I like to throw a zinger in there. I like to mix it up. I like to say, I want people on their toes. Even my studio guest, I want him to be on his toes.
I didn't know that was coming, but it was smooth.
It was smooth. There-
silky.
all right,
It was
all right.
nice.
See,
I like that.
I hit a couple of nuggets from you. All right, two more guys and ladies. And this one, man, I got so much I could say about this song. There's so many people who I want to give shout outs to on this song. But I'm going to give just a shout out to the guy sitting right here because we were going through a couple of options to fill this warm up spot for the grand finale, which is behind me. Woo, boing. But
It's a good one.
but we had a couple options, right?
We did.
And so we spun through them, and I think we landed on the right track. And I think your
so.
influence was definitely helping me make that decision. It was a tough decision. I hope you guys like our decision, but this is, there's going to be those of you out here that say, this isn't really a hidden track. I know the song. It's pretty well known. But I've looked at my audiences now, and I've looked through some of you guys with 3,500 hits as of
that what we are
yesterday.
today?
3,500 views.
Wow, keep them coming, guys.
Yeah, you
Hit
guys
'em,
can
hit 'em,
only
hit
see
'em,
the
hit 'em.
comments, but I can see the views. So you guys who are secretly watching, I know you're out there, and I love you. Join me in my madness. Subscribe on YouTube. But this track is going to touch you guys. If you haven't heard it for the first time, it's really going to touch you. If you haven't heard it for a while, welcome back.
I don't do
My pin placement's terrible. I'm drinking too much.
Can you play it too?
Yes.
And this is a perfect song to pour it.
Oh,
isn't it?
This is the best.
well, I've been out walking. I don't do that much talking these days. These days I seem to think a lot about the things that I forgot to do for you. And all the times I had the chance to.
That's a deep line, man. That's a deep line. All the times I had the chance to.
And I had a lover. It's so hard to risk another these days. These days.
Jackson Brown will give it to you
Ugh.
straight as an arrow.
We're gonna listen to that as soon as this is over. We're listening to that again.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
that's
all the way through.
I love it. Don't confront me with my failures because I've not forgotten them. That is
Isn't that the most beautiful poetry?
Oh man,
Isn't
the
it?
guy is
Isn't it?
a genius. All right. We're there. We made it. 38 minutes, not bad. This is going to be a nice, lean episode. I want to thank Steve again, really, from the bottom of my heart, for driving down here from Cleveland to join me. As always, brother, you're always welcome. Come and peruse the stacks with me. Hope to have you on again. You've set a precedent. You are the first guest ever on.
First guest on D's Cocktail Hour.
It's amazing to me, man. Like, now you've opened up this whole possibility, but I really appreciate you coming down. You've been a great guest, everybody. Thank our guest, Steve the Madman Rock, for joining us. And on that note, we're going out on something that's going to light you up like a Christmas candle. And I'll tell you what, because there's a lot of people who think they know a lot about this band. And there's a lot of people who, when you say this band, they're like, oh, D, I know that band. Everybody knows those guys. You're not telling us anything we don't know, D. But I'm about to tell you, you don't know this band unless you know this song. Because this song, first I'm going to set this thing up. Imagine, this is 51 years ago this song was released.
Yeah, you're right.
51 years
That's
ago.
shocking.
In
Actually,
the year
when you put it in context.
1970 of our Lord, this song was released. And I got to imagine the old man was probably like, oh shit, he would have been like 17, 18, 19 years old. And he's like, this had to just melt his whole flesh off of his body. Like, this is, when you talk about heavy metal, you don't think, well, 51 years ago, this Thor's hammer dropped on humanity and this song came out of it. But I'm about to blow your minds if you haven't heard this album. This album is off of the self-titled debut album of the Madman himself and Black Sabbath. This is Black Sabbath's penultimate album, if you ask me. This is circa 1970. This is a face melter, if you haven't heard this. There's people who are like, these gonna have Black Sabbath? Like, I know Black Sabbath. You might not know this Black Sabbath. All right? Come on. Ooh. Well, I might need some space.
Yeah, turn that baby up.
51 years ago. What? Shame on
night.